I was in a coaching class, excited, finally about to learn the real way to give proper feedback. The coach had been hyping this up for weeks, the ultimate end-all be-all method that would save us from the awkward, confusing mess that feedback usually is. Finally, the moment came. He was about to drop the big secret. The secret was the sandwich method. Are you kidding me? I felt like one of Gordon Ramsay's contestants.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
What a waste of time and money. Anyway, here's how to give feedback that actually works. Let me quickly explain what the sandwich method is so that we're all on the same page. The sandwich method consists of three parts. The first is the compliment, then it's the criticism or a thing to improve, and then the third one is a compliment again. So it pretty much the two compliments sandwich in the criticism or a thing to improve. It mostly fails because of the following. It does feel fake. You're giving a person two compliments just to give them a single criticism. People can see it coming or they don't see it coming at all. So when I was in the military, one of my commanders, who was a complete waste of space, actually got this sandwich method applied to him. And when it was applied to him, what happened was he was so excited about the two compliments that he got that he didn't even think about that it was actually meant to be a criticism of his actions, because he didn't even think that he had that there was anything wrong with him. He just saw those two compliments. He was like, amazing, I got more compliments than I got criticism, so we're doing amazing and I don't need to improve anything at all. And that was pretty much the sandwich method. When giving feedback, leaders usually make one of the two mistakes. So the first one is they avoid the truth to protect the person's feelings. So they can use this through the sandwich method or through some other method, but they really tiptoe around the truth just to make sure that the other person doesn't feel threatened or that they don't feel bad about their actions or whatever else they were actually doing. The second thing that leaders do is they go full radical candor and they damage the morale of the person that they're giving that feedback to. So great leaders take a third path of how to give feedback. They're going to be giving feedback with radical clarity and radical empathy. And this combo actually is going to create psychological safety for the person. The person is going to feel safe hearing the tough feedback, and they're going to be motivated to improve as well. So how can you use radical clarity and radical empathy at the same time for giving feedback? You can use this three-step framework. Before the meeting, I always check with myself. How am I feeling? What am I feeling? Am I feeling angry, frustrated, disappointed? Am I trying to offload the emotion, or am I trying to help someone grow? If I can't get rid of my negative emotions, that I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to be there for the person to support him or her when I'm giving them the feedback, I will rather postpone the meeting than to actually go through with it, because I may actually be damaging the situation and I may be demoralizing the person that I'm giving feedback to. In step 2, I speak clearly. And this one is the hardest one for me since I'm a neurodivergent and an introvert as well. And the way I speak, or the way I prefer to speak, the majority of people wouldn't understand me. So I need to use a different method to ensure that the person that I'm speaking to understands me. And what I use for this is the SBI model, which is situation, behavior, and impact. For situation, we clarify where and when it happened. Yesterday, during the client presentation. So for behavior, what they did. Not who they are, but what they did. It's a big difference. You interrupted the client 3 times. And with impact, what happened as a result? It caused the confusion with the client and made it harder for them to stay engaged. And the reason why the SBI model works is because it keeps things objective, specific, and actionable. And it focuses on behavior, not the personality. So here are a couple of examples. So the first one is the vague one, is you're too aggressive in meetings. And the second one, using the SBI model, is in yesterday's meetings, you raised your voice twice while responding to Sarah, which made her visibly uncomfortable and shut down the conversation. Here's a bonus mnemonic that you can use with the SBI model. Clarity over vagueness. Act on behavior, not personality. Real examples, not assumptions. Empathy, always. Step 3 is where the majority of leaders fail. They're making it a monologue, not a dialogue. And that's a big mistake because they don't understand what the other person is feeling, what they're thinking about this, or maybe that they just didn't understand the situation completely. So when you do feedback, always and always open the floor for the other person. You can always say, here's what I saw, here's what happened. How does that land with you? And ask questions that invite reflection for the other person. What's your take on that? Is there anything I might be missing? What kind of support would be helpful to you? When I'm in this step is I want to shift from verdict to collaboration. How can I help these people? That's the first thing that I'm always thinking. And that's the only thing that I'm always thinking. How can I help this person succeed? Giving great feedback isn't just a trick. It's a leadership skill. And the formula that top leaders use is radical clarity, radical empathy, and a growth mindset. And when you give feedback that's clear and kind, you don't just improve performance, but you build trust that transforms teams. And if you want to know how to build trust next, check out this video.